Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another foundation first impressions, and I know I'm really excited about this and I know you guys are going to be super excited about this, and that is going to be on the Kat Von D Tattoo Lock-It Foundation. This is a very old product, it's not new or anything, but I just recently got it and you guys said you wanted to see a first impressions on it, so that is what I'm going to be doing today. I have been really enjoying doing foundation first impressions here on my channel, so I think I'm going to kind of stick with this theme. I know a ton of YouTubers do foundation first impressions obviously on their channels, but everyone's skin type is different, so maybe some people can relate to other people's skin more than just one person, so I feel like foundation reviews are for everyone. I got this off of Sephora.com and I can't remember off the top of my head how much it was. I think it was like $38–40, so that is very, very expensive, and that is the main reason why I have held off from getting this foundation, is because of the price of it, because that's really, really expensive. However, when it did arrive, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with how much you get. So here's what the packaging looks like. If you can hear toys squeaking, my dogs are playing. Story of my life. You get 30 milliliters of foundation in here, which is a good amount, and especially for this foundation, because this foundation is very, very, very full coverage. It is very heavy, so this would not be like an everyday foundation, because that would just be way too thick. I mean, if you want to use it for an everyday foundation, you totally can. For me, this is not an everyday foundation just for that reason, because it is so thick. But yeah, I really want to try it out on my skin today, so we're gonna see how it looks. I got the color Light 45, so it's a light color with yellow undertones. I'm not like an expert on that sort of stuff, but I do think I have more of a yellow undertone rather than a pink undertone, do you know what I mean? So at least to what I see, like, I have no makeup on my face right now, obviously, but from what I can see, I do have kind of a yellowish undertone. So that's the one I chose, and it's quite risky to be buying a foundation offline when you don't like know your exact shade, so I totally just guessed when it came to this color, so I don't even know if it's going to match me 100%, so this video is just going to be literally all first impressions, even the shade, because I haven't even taken the nozzle off yet. The sun is going in and out between clouds, so if you're noticing that, sorry, but that's just, you know, how filming with natural light works, I guess. So yeah, this is what the bottle looks like. I will show you a more up close view in just a minute, but it says it is full coverage, 24-hour wear, transfer resistant, matte finish, fragrance free, and oil free. And I've heard a ton of people talk about this, and so many people like it, and so many people have said how, you know, how full coverage it gets, so I'm a little worried about it becoming cakey, so we're just gonna have to apply little by little and see how it goes. The one thing about this foundation is the question of it being vegan and cruelty free. There's kind of a back and forth thing going on with Kat Von D's stuff and if it's vegan or not, so I'm not 100% sure. It's like something to do with the parent company testing on animals, so I'm not 100% sure. If you are really that worried about it, I would suggest doing your own research on it. I am not 100% cruelty free with my makeup products. I own a whole bunch of makeup products. I'm not cruelty free or vegan in any way, shape, or form. However, when I do find a product that is vegan or cruelty free, it does, like, it's a huge, huge plus. But no, I'm not 100% cruelty free. I know some people have asked me that, so yeah, I just wanted to make that clear. So now I'm going to zoom you in and show you what the packaging looks like. Alright, so here's what the bottle looks like. As you can see, it kind of has like a glass, I think it's glass, I'm not really sure, like hard plastic outside, and then it has like the little protector on the nozzle here, and then it just has the name of the foundation with like the cool little designs all around it. Just looks like that, and then it just has all the information on the back here. So that's basically what the bottle looks like. It's really kind of fancy and kind of cool looking. Let's go ahead and get started with this. So I'm just going to pop this little nozzle off. It just slides off like that, and then it just has a little pump here, and then you just pump it from the top, which it says Kat Von D on the top, which is really cool. I do really like the packaging, have always liked the packaging of this product, and then it just came in this box, which I'm actually going to use the bottom of the box to put the foundation on. So let's go ahead and get started. I will zoom you in on my face so we can see what we're working with here. Okay, so here is what my face is looking like. Today I have absolutely no makeup on. I just washed my face like I normally do every morning, and I am breaking out quite a bit because TMI, but I do notice I film a ton of my foundation first impressions when it's around that time of the month where my hormones are all jacked up and every time that time of the month comes, my face breaks out like crazy. Like nothing can be avoided when it comes to that. So I'm sorry about that, but we'll just be testing how full coverage the foundation is today. So yes, here's the condition of my skin currently on this day of filming. Now, a ton of you are probably going to be annoyed, but I am going to be using a face primer today because since this foundation is so full coverage and so matte and, you know, everything like that, I need something to help blend it out. So I am going to be using a little bit of a face primer. I know you guys don't like when I do that because you feel like it's cheating. Which I don't think it is. Like, I think a primer is totally necessary for a foundation. But I am going to be using a little bit of this on my face today before we apply the foundation. This one is by e.l.f. It's just the hydrating face primer. So I'm literally just going to take a little bit and, you know, just spread it all over my face. Okay, so I just put a little bit of the face primer on my skin. I'm just going to let that kind of sink in for a few minutes and then we can go ahead and apply the foundation on. And my septum's crooked. Oh my god. Okay, so I think I'm ready. So I'm just going to take the back of the box and I'm going to shake it up first. I feel like if you shake it up first, it like works better. I don't know. Kind of weird. I'm just going to give a little bit of shake. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, nothing. Huh? Oh, wow. Wow, that's super thick. Like, you could see it so thick, like, coming out of the bottle. So now I'm going to be applying a very, very, very thin layer to start out with all over my face. Again, I have nothing on it except a little bit of the face primer that I just applied. But I'm going to be taking, like, a super tiny amount, and it's so thick. I'm going to warm it up. Because someone said that helps sometimes to do. There goes nothing. Okay, so I'm going to blend this out first. I'm just using a damp beauty blender. So far the color seems okay too, so thank God for that. Alright, so that was just one extremely thin layer all over the face. So now I'm going to go in and do a little bit more because it didn't really cover much. So I'm just going to take a little bit more. Highly recommend that you use a face primer with this foundation for sure, because I couldn't imagine using this just on its own. I feel like it would just be like impossible to blend out. I don't know, I just have such bad acne, I just feel like it's like always impossible to cover up. But my skin does look pretty full coverage right now, but I feel like you can still see like a ton of my blemishes, which just sucks. Like, some people, when they do these foundation first impressions, it's like, what the fuck are you even, like, covering? Like, what are you even trying to do? Because, like, no one has, like, a zit on their face. It's, like, it's astounding to me. Or I've never had just a clear face. Like, I've always had at least one zit on my face. Like, that's just how my skin is. So, yeah, you can still see a crap ton of blemishes. So what I'm doing now is I just took, like, a little tiny bit of the foundation that was left on the cap here. And I'm using it as kind of, like, a spot concealer, like, to kind of cover up. But it is super full coverage, like holy crap-a-mundo. Like, people weren't kidding when they told me how full coverage this was. So this is definitely more of like a going out, like nighttime concealer, foundation for sure. So yeah, and what I'm finding is doing this kind of like little spot, like putting it on certain blemishes that I want covered and kind of tapping it in with my finger and then going over with the beauty blender. I am finding that working really, really nicely. It's applying beautifully. Like, my skin looks super, like, I'm ready for, like, a photo shoot, like, let's go. Like, it's super full coverage. I don't know how it's coming off on camera. I am pushing the point of cakiness, so just be aware of that. It does get cakey very quickly. I put on 2 coats and then that you guys saw, and then I just took a little bit on my finger and like put it over certain blemishes and just am going over my whole face with the Beauty Blender again to make sure that it's all like blended out. Okay, so here's what my face looks like, and I'm definitely going to stop here because it is starting to look a little bit cakey. This is my first time literally like applying this foundation, so I don't know if maybe 2 coats in that spot thing that I did was like too much, or I don't know, but this is how it's looking on my skin right now. I do feel like as the day goes on it will look better because like my natural oils and just things like that, and it'll set into my skin more, because in my personal opinion, when you first apply a foundation it doesn't look good until maybe a half hour later, because then I feel like that's when it fully starts to like set in and, you know, look better. But yeah, here's basically what it looks like, and I have no concealer on. I literally just put 1 pump of primer and did what I did on the back of this, and there's still some left over, as you can see. So yeah, here's what my skin's looking like. It's definitely very full coverage, and I do feel like it's looking a little bit cakey, but I do really like it. Like, this would be perfect for going out foundation. Okay, so here's a close-up of my skin with the Kat Von D foundation on. If you can see a little bit of cakiness, that's kind of what I'm talking about, where it kind of just looks blurp kind of on my skin. So yeah, but here's basically just what the the 2 coats and then the little like spot looks like on my skin. And this is literally zoomed in and taken right after I applied it to my skin. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like from far away. It does look a little bit pale, but oh my god, like super, super full coverage. So now I'm just going to go through and finish up the rest of my makeup. I'm going to do a tiny layer of loose powder, just the one by CoverGirl that I used last time. So I'm taking a super big fluffy brush with like, there's like no density to this thing, and just pick up the tiniest amount of powder. Like literally I'm only going to use what's in this cap right now, and just take a little bit and just dot it onto my face. Like, I didn't even pick up any from the actual tube because we don't need it, because the finish is extremely matte, as you guys probably could tell. I do need to do my brows soon because it looks like I have no eyebrows. What's next? Bronzer, I'm just going to be using Physicians Formula City Glow, the Paris one. So I'm just going to be doing that, bronzing up my cheeks. Not going to contour because it's just not necessary for everyday living. I'm just going to take a little bit on this kind of no-name fluffy brush that I've had for years. Just to kind of put some color back in my face, because I feel like the foundation's the right color. Like, it matches my neck pretty good, but I feel like just the foundation makes me look super pale. So I'm just going to add some warmth, some dimension up into my temples here, like so. So as you can see, my face looks a whole lot warmer and like, sun-kissed glow. So that's good enough for me. I am going to tone it down just a little bit just by going back over it with my fluffer brush. Okay, and for blush today, I'm going to be using one that I haven't used in years, and it is by Laura Mercier, and it is in the color Rose Bloom. This is like my first ever high-end blush. So I'm just going to take my e.l.f. blush brush like I normally do, just pat very, very lightly, and tap off the excess. So now that my cheeks look all nice and rosy, I'm just going to go back in with that powder brush, kind of brush everything upwards so it's nice and blended. And that's good on the face makeup. I'm just going to go through and just set everything down with some MAC Prep and Prom spray. Okay, so now that the Fix Plus spray has fully dried onto my face, I just went off camera and did my eyebrows. I'm using a new eyebrow pencil by Wet n Wild, and this one is in the color Seema Brown Now by Wet n Wild. I don't know, it's like a super dark brown pencil, and I'm just trying it out. It was only $1, so yeah, if my brows look a little bit weird and different, I'm trying out a new eyebrow pencil, so yeah. Anyway, let's just try to look past the brows. So my makeup looks a lot better now that I set it with the Fix Plus spray. As you can see on camera, my skin looks super, super flawless and super you know, like, whoa, baby. So yeah, it is currently, what time is it? It is 1:30 in the afternoon, so I'm going to come back in a little bit and do checkups on kind of how my face is doing and how the foundation's looking to see if it gets any cakier or anything like that. But yeah, here's basically what it looks like from far away. What do you guys think so far? Here's what it looks like. Okay, so I will come back in a little bit and I will show you how it's doing. So stay tuned and I will see you in 1 second. Hey guys, so it is now a couple hours later. It is currently now 3:45, so I figured I would come back and do kind of a little update as to what's going on. I don't have my background behind me just because I'm done filming for the day, so I'm not going to keep it behind me just to do these little updates. But yeah, so what I am noticing is it has finally settled into my skin. Of course, my skin's not really in the best condition just because it is, you know, that time of the month. So you can see quite a bit of acne, but I feel like when I do have a really good skin day, I feel like this foundation would be absolutely perfect. Like, I really do like this foundation. From what I'm seeing in the viewfinder right now, it does look really, really good so far. I don't know what you guys think or, you know, what you think of it, but I really, really like it. It has stayed in place. Nothing has, like, worn off or anything. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin like I thought it would. Like, the Wet n Wild Coverall foundation that I did a while ago, that felt really heavy, and I had it on for a few hours, and I literally took it off. I don't have that feeling with this foundation. This one feels good on my skin. Like, it doesn't feel heavy or anything. So, but yeah, basically, here's how it looks a couple hours later. I will zoom you in a little bit more to show you. Okay, so here's an up-close view of what my skin is looking like. As you can see, obviously there are some blemishes, but you know, that's just, you know, to be expected, obviously. But other than that, you know, I have no complaints. I do think it looks pretty good for being a full coverage foundation and wearing it in the middle of the day. I will come back in a little bit longer to see how it looks then, so stay tuned for that. Sorry, my oh my god. My eye makeup is literally fucked up. It is now currently 9:36, so I've had this foundation on for about 8 hours now, and I'm here to do my final check-in. So as you can see, obviously my face is really oily, but other than that, it has not budged. So here's a close-up of the foundation before I wash it off. Here it is just 8 hours later. So let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on it if you've personally used it. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. So if you enjoyed, please give a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to go down and subscribe to my channel. But other than that, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys!